In the 1600s, the world was a much bigger place, especially for a pirate. Although most pirates met their end at the end of a cutlass or a rope, some simply vanished. In this episode, we look at the mysterious disappearance of Captain Henry Every. Before he became a pirate, Every served in the Royal Navy for a time, likely seeing combat in the 9 Years' War. When he was discharged, he turned to slave trading along Africa's coast. He eventually ended up on a ship called the Charles II that was charged with raiding the French. In 1694, Every led a mutiny on the Charles II, taking the ship over and eventually being elected captain. He renamed the ship the Fancy, and Every's career as a pirate officially began. After plundering a number of ships off Africa, Every set his sights on a seemingly impossible prize, the flagship of a 25-strong Mughal fleet, the Ganj-i-Sawai. To take down the Mughal fleet, Every joined forces with several other pirate vessels, including another English pirate, Thomas Tew. After a chase, Every and his ships caught up with the Ganj-i-Sawai. Now the 80 cannons of the Mughal ship should have made quick work of Every's Fancy, but a very lucky broadside by the Fancy snapped the Ganj-i-Sawai's mainmast, effectively paralyzing him. Drawing alongside, the pirates boarded the ship, and after brutal hand-to-hand fighting that lasted several hours, Every and his men were victorious. Their reward was treasure valued at over $900,000 back in the 1690s. Today, that's nearly $80 million. The battle and the theft drew the ire of England, who had a fragile relationship with the Mughals. The fact that Every and his men tortured, raped, and murdered many of the passengers they found on the Ganj-i-Sawai didn't help any. A bounty was placed on Every's head, and the first worldwide manhunt began. He and his men sailed to the Bahamas to hide in New Providence for a time. Every's company broke up, with some of the men returning home to England or the British West Indies, even to the North American colonies. 24 of the pirates were captured, with 6 being tried and hanged in London. Captain Every, on the other hand, vanished from history. To this day, no one knows what really happened to him. Some say he changed his name and lived the rest of his days in comfort on a tropical island. Others say that Every was swindled out of his riches and he wandered as a beggar, eventually dying alone and penniless. But it isn't only Every who vanished. Not much is known about where all that treasure went that he looted. Perhaps it's out there somewhere, just waiting to be found, along with the real truth behind Captain Henry Every's fate. Subscribe for more from A Grave in Baltimore. And don't forget to tell us about your favorite scary story or haunted place.